Lumos. Lumos. Lumos.
Today I'm going to show you how to make a wand that can do the Lumos spell. First thing you can do is go to the dollar store and buy one of these cheap little keychain lights that have an LED in them. Open up the keychain light, and inside you will find, in one form or another, an LED with two little wires sticking out of the bottom, as well as two button cell batteries. You can see when you put a button cell on either side of the batteries, stacked one on top of the other, that the light comes on. And that's a very simple circuit. You need some wire, thin gauge electrical wire. You can get this at Electrical Supply, even Radio Shack or Circuit City. You need two 12-inch pieces, one 6-inch piece plus an extra wire, another 6-inch piece. And you're going to strip the ends, and you're going to strip one of the pieces completely. Then you're going to take your LED, and I'm putting it in a piece of styrofoam block here just to hold it. And just leave the prongs sticking up. And then you're going to solder a piece of the wire on each of the prongs. Now obviously this is not something that kids can do by themselves. You're going to need an adult to help you here. In fact, you kind of need three hands, one to hold the wire, one to hold the soldering gun, and one to hold the solder. And then you solder on the wires. That's why you need to strip the last inch of the wire off to remove the plastic casing. The color of the wire does not matter, just thin copper electrical wire. Solder on both pieces and then remove the LED from the foam block. Now it's not a bad idea to test your circuit right here to see and make sure that it's functional. You can see that it is. Now you're going to take the two ends of the wires and slide it through a regular drinking straw, leaving the ends of the wires dangling out the end. Now you're going to take a little bit of a hot glue and just hot glue the end of the straw a little bit, just so that the LED stays nice and snugly attached there, and then let that cool and harden. There's the wires, the two wires sticking out the end. And not a bad idea to test it by sticking it on the battery to see if it works. Now you take the extra piece I was talking about of electrical wire with the end stripped, and you're going to make a coil shape. So just bend the end of the wire into a little rounded shape, like a little coil. You're going to do that with the extra piece, the 6-inch piece with the covering on it, as well as, I'm just showing you how you can see it's coiled up there on the dark background. It's hard to see things on this table as a background. And then this is the one that goes to the actual light bulb. You can see I've already coiled that one around. Now I take your two button cells. Make sure that you stack them properly so that you're getting the positive is facing up on both, and they're stacked one on top of the other. Try it out to make sure you have it right. So stack them together. Take the end that goes to the light bulb, one of the ends that goes to the light bulb, and put it on the positive side, and it should say a little plus sign right on the battery. And then use some electrical tape or masking tape, stick it on, and then take the extra piece of wire with the coating on it and then just tape it on the negative side. So you've got one on the positive side, one on the negative side. And throw some extra tape on there just to make sure that it stays put. Now if you touch these two wires together, your circuit will be complete and the light will light. So there you go. So you have your two wires plus the one that's attached, and the one that's attached goes to the negative side of the batteries. Now just take a plain old piece of printer paper, and you're going to line up the wire at the corner, just so that the wire covers the corner, and then you just start rolling. Try to roll it nice and tight, and roll it up towards the opposite corner. And when you get about halfway, then you're going to add a little bit of just plain old white glue on the entire surface of the page, just so that it sticks properly. You can also use double-sided sticky tape for this, which works just as well. So keep rolling, and then add some glue, and glue the edges very well so that you don't want them lifting when you're after the wand is completed. Now you'll notice that there's going to be a little bit of straw sticking out the end, If that's the case, that's okay. Don't worry about it. A little bit, if you leave a little bit at the end sticking out, about an inch or so, or half an inch I should say, of straw sticking out with the LED, that's alright. Put it back on a second piece of paper and just cut a triangle shape. Put some glue on it. Actually, the second piece of paper is not a bad idea because it does reinforce the wand and makes it a little bit more solid. And then you're going to put the wand on there and you're going to put the LED just sticking out, just so that you can just see it, so that all the straw is covered up. And then just roll that up. Right up to the end and then press it down nice and snug so that everything is stuck. Now you're going to cut off this uneven end. Just be careful when you do it so you don't cut any wires. And just cut around in a circle so that the end is nice and straight. And you'll see that the battery's sticking out and some of the wires are sticking out. You can push those back in to make things nice and flat. There we go. Just push it back in and make sure that the second wire, which seems to be a bit shorter for some reason here, is sticking out as well. Now take the little 6-inch bare wire where you removed all the coating with a wire stripper or with a knife, and you're going to wrap it around the wand and then make it go towards the top. Go up in an upward direction like that. See how it loops around completely and then it goes up? And you're going to attach that piece of wire to that wire there by just twisting it around first. And then you're going to snip off the excess with a pair of scissors. There we go. This is to make the switch. You're going to be making a switch. And then you're going to take a little bit of solder and you're going to solder the two wires together. So bring the other wire that's loose down, and if you touch that wire with it, you'll notice that it lights the wand. That is your switch. And you want the switch at the exterior of the wand, and it's going to be hidden so you're not going to be able to see it. Now that I've straightened the wires out a bit, and you can see how the switch works. You're just going to lightly touch that wire, push that wire down, and it's going to touch the second wire. Now you're going to cover up the wires with hot glue to keep them in place and to disguise them. Because once it's painted, you're not even going to be able to tell that they're there. Make sure you leave a nice clean spot that doesn't have any glue on it where the second wire comes down and makes contact. And then glue the top wire in at where it touches the edge of the wand there. Pull it down and let it cool and harden. Now you're going to fill up the top of the wand. I always add a little bit of paper here because it's going to take a lot of hot glue to fill this up completely. So you're going to fill it up. Now you may have to do it in layers and let it harden in between, and then just keep adding glue until you get it nice and full. You actually want it to bulge a little bit so that it looks like a little bit rounded. Now you're going to finish the outside of the wand using the instructions in my wand video, and this video is actually attached to it. The procedure will be identical, except you should put masking tape on the LED, on the little light, so that when you paint it, it doesn't get dirty. Now I've removed the little piece of masking tape here, and the wand is finished. Now you can see the wires are disguised, and you're going to rub off the paint on the wire where the contact should be made. So rub it off with your fingernail so that the wires are bare, touching there, and then the light will come on. If there's paint on the wire, you may not be able to. I just wanted to show you how it works here and how quite bright it is. It's like having a flashlight, actually. Very bright. Well, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you make one of your own. There's the finished wand. There's the LED sticking out of the wand. And there's a close-up of the switch. And when you're holding it, no one will see it, and no one will know that you are using the secret switch to make the wand light up.